basketball on 541radio.com.
Ball poked away by Lake. He gets it out in front for Colin Warmith in the dunk.
Welcome to this broadcast of Roseburg Sports, presented by CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. Now, let's get ready for the game. Here's your pregame show host, Joey Kiran.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium, the site for tonight's matchup between the Roseburg Indians and the visiting South Eugene Axe. It is time for high school basketball tonight here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score and streaming with video online at 541radio.com, where you can catch tonight's action live and free. We welcome you in to Roseburg High School tonight as the Roseburg boys look to continue their undefeated streak in Southwest Conference play and see if they can snap the winning streak by the Axe, who come in winners in their last 6. A big showdown tonight in conference play as Roseburg and South Eugene, the top two teams in record in the Southwest Conference so far. They're both 1-0 in Southwest Conference play. They both only have a combined 7 losses on their overall record this year, as South Eugene comes in 12-3, Roseburg 11-4. A very good evening to you folks. Joey Kiran here tonight with you on 1490 The Score and online at 541radio.com. Want to say a thanks to Angela Kiran, Josh Nelson, and Chance Terrell back in the studio for helping out with tonight's production of Roseburg basketball on 1490 The Score. As we get ready for tonight's matchup, well, we got plenty to cover here in the pregame show. It could be a historic night tonight here at Stuart W. Robertson. Tonight, we could get an all-time scoring leader out of Colin Warmith. He comes in just 10 points shy of tying the record, 11 points shy of breaking the all-time scoring record at Roseburg High School, currently held by Joe Newton with 1,282 points. Could be a record-setting night tonight for the Roseburg boys. We'll keep an eye on that, as it is a record-setting senior year for Colin. He already has broke the record for most made free throws in a single game this year. He made 18 against Sheldon, Roseburg's last game, a 56-52 victory for the Indians against the Irish. In that game, Colin Warmith finished with 32 points. He had 18 from the free throw line, which set a new school record, breaking the previous record held by Matt Brown back in the 95-96 season when he hit 17 from the charity stripe. So already one record for Colin Warmith. He looks to try and get a few more as his senior season continues on. But it's not all about Colin Warmith tonight, as the Roseburg boys, coming off of that 56-52 win over the Sheldon Irish, look to try and continue to build more momentum as they get into conference play. Roseburg finished strong against the Irish in the second half. They were able to start to come back from a 9-point second quarter deficit. They were right there toe-to-toe with Sheldon all the way down to the very end with 48 seconds left. It was sophomore Zach Martin that made 2 free throws that put Roseburg ahead for good, as the Indians would pull off a big win to begin conference play on Friday last week. So Roseburg will look to try and build off of that momentum, but they've got on the other side a South Eugene team that comes in ranked number 9 in the latest OSAA coaches poll, number 7 in the OSAA power rankings, a team that looks to be the conference possible front runner. Despite not getting voted there before the conference season began, South Eugene looks like they could be the cream of the crop in the conference this year. They're coming off of a 55-42 win against South Medford on Friday night. They pulled away in the second quarter and led 32-20 at halftime, and they routed the Panthers from that point on. South Eugene looking to try and win the conference title. They finished tied for third last year in the Southwest Conference, but this year bring back a number of juniors. They have 9 juniors on this year's roster, only 2 seniors. So it should be interesting to see what a new bunch of players will have for head coach Dave Hancock and the South Eugene Axe. We'll break down the matchup, plenty more coming up throughout tonight's pregame show. We'll also get a chance to catch up with head coach Mike Pardon tonight here on the broadcast. So stay tuned for that coming up here in just a few moments. Want to let you know tonight's game is brought to you by our friends at Bi-Mart. Score big at Bi-Mart, where you can get ready for your season for less. Also want to say thanks to Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County, a proud sponsor of Roseburg Sports here on the radio. We'll go ahead and take the break. When we come back, we catch up with head coach Mike Parton. It's Roseburg basketball for you tonight here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back here with more of our pregame on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score, and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. It's time in the pregame show to get a chance to catch up with head coach Mike Parton as the Roseburg boys get ready to take on South Eugene here tonight. And, Coach, you guys are coming off of a nice win against Sheldon to start out conference play last Friday night. Really thought it was a great defensive effort. We talked, I think, about before the game about how Sheldon has a lot of size, and that was something you guys were going to have to find the most creative way you could to try and combat with a little lack of height on your roster now. How'd you feel like you guys did? I felt like the defensive effort was real big in that game against the Irish.
Well, I thought we did a nice job defensively, but I also thought we did a nice job overall, taking care of the ball, kind of spreading the basketball out, and we're patient, and so that's what we got to get better at, and keep getting better at, and really get quality shots. And so against any team of that caliber, you got to do it if you want to win, and I thought our kids did a nice job with that.
Yeah, those were kind of the things that we had talked about in the pregame on that one, was limiting the turnovers, doing a nice job defensively, and being patient. You saw a lot of that in that game. How has the practice time since then gone for you guys? Have you continued to see them focus on those kind of things out there in practice and expect to see more of that again here tonight?
Yeah, I hope we're getting better. This is a very, very good team. They're the highest ranked team in our league, and they just possess a lot of good players. They have 6 guys that all can score. I think they have 4 guys that are averaging double figures. They're just really, really strong. They got guys that can shoot it, guys that can drive it. So they're going to really put us through the test.
That win, obviously a nice way to start out conference play, and I know the team had obviously with some of the transition going on and a big loss to North Medford going into conference play and that non-conference matchup there. Maybe the team mentally could use a big boost like that, getting a big win against Sheldon. Was it kind of a statement win for you guys, you feel like, to start out conference play? Did it kind of morale boost for the team as you guys picked up the win there and continue on with the conference slate?
Yeah, I think you guys like to talk about that. It was a good win for us. We're just trying to take one game at a time, get better, and learn from our mistakes as we go. But yeah, any win's good. I don't care who we play against. All wins are good, and that was definitely a good win for us. And now we have to move on and play a really, really good South Eugene team.
Before we take a look a little bit at tonight's matchup, I wanted to bring up something that could go on in tonight's game. Colin Warmoth, I know, looking at numbers and things like that on the school record board. It's not something you guys focus on. I know it's not something he focuses on, but tonight he could put his name into kind of legacy status as atop the all-time scorers there. A kid like that, when you look at what he's done and where he might end up as his career comes to an end, could be a pretty special moment for him here tonight. What kind of things does that bring to mind to you as you look back on what he's done for you over the last couple of years?
Well, I think Colin's a fantastic player, and he has great ability, and he's done a nice job, and just wish him the best. But at the same time, we want to win here too. Mm-hmm. So I think the most important thing for us is to really get that win, and those personal accolades always happen after the year's over, but it's a neat thing for Colin, and I know his family, and we're excited for them, but at the same time, we're trying to get better here as a team and make some things happen for ourselves here.
That matchup tonight as you guys get ready to take on South Eugene. You mentioned some of the things they do well. What are kind of going to be the keys to the game tonight for you? I'm sure it's a lot of what you've already been talking about all season.
Yeah, they don't have many weaknesses. You know, when I watch them, they used to have a lot of guys that can put the ball on the floor. They got quickness, they got speed, they got size. So they have all those intangibles before you even start playing basketball. So they're going to be a challenge for us because of all those things. And so we're going to have to make some adjustments tonight, and hopefully we'll make those adjustments and not turn the ball over and play good defense.
All right. Look forward to it tonight as Roseburg takes on South Eugene. That is head coach Mike Parton here in the pregame show. We'll come back with a few more details, get you ready to go with the starting lineups as well as we get ready for tip-off tonight here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Counting down towards tip-off here from Roseburg High School. Joey Kieran here with you as we make our way through the pregame show. Roseburg taking on South Eugene tonight here at Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Both teams enter in at 1-0 in conference play. Roseburg 2-3 over their last 5. South Eugene on their longest win streak of the season, currently 5-0 in their last games, and they've won 6 straight. Well, taking a look at tonight's matchup, again, both teams coming off of wins in their conference openers on Friday last week. Roseburg a 56-52 win against Sheldon. Didn't get the lead for good until 48 seconds left to go in the ball game on a pair of free throws by sophomore Zach Martin, who swings from the JV up to the varsity. And looking at those numbers there, Zach Martin hit 2 clutch free throws no matter how you look at it. It was in a critical moment, game tied, gave Roseburg the lead. They held on down the stretch. He's only a sophomore, big moment for him there. He's a swing player from JV, only sees a few minutes at the varsity level most games, and they were his first free throws of his career at the varsity level. So not only were they big moments for the sophomore, they were a first-time moment for Zach Martin. Roseburg ended up finishing 8 of 10 from the free throw line in that final minute. Roseburg went 24 of 29 from the free throw line in that game. That helped make up for shooting just 29% from the floor against Sheldon. One other good moment from that game, Roseburg committed just 11 turnovers against the Irish. That is a pretty good number for this Roseburg team, which gets themselves into a lot of trouble turning the ball over. Roseburg does need to try and improve from behind the arc going into tonight's matchup. They're just 9 of 44 from behind the three-point line in their last 3 games. That is a 20% clip. Not very good for the Roseburg boys as they look to try and bring that up closer to their season average of 36% from a long distance. As for South Eugene, their opening game in conference, a 55-42 win against South Medford, who falls to 1-14 on the year and 0-1 in conference play. South Eugene pulled away, outscoring South Medford in the second quarter, and they led 32-20 at halftime. They put the game out of reach by outscoring South Medford 13-6 in the third quarter as they ran away with that ball game. South Eugene has had a rather testing schedule so far to start out the season. They've faced 4 teams that are currently receiving votes in the OSAA coaches poll. 3 of those teams are in the top 10, and 1 was in the receiving votes category. In those 4 games against ranked opponents, South Eugene is 2-2 in those 4 games. Not all of them were at the 6A level. They played teams ranked in the coaches poll down to the 4A level as they were in the tournament, a summit tournament, I believe it was, over in Central Oregon. So South Eugene has had a difficult schedule, played some pretty quality opponents as they were gearing up for Southwest Conference play. Taking a look at what is going on around the Southwest Conference tonight, you've got North Medford at Sheldon tonight, and Grants Pass at South Medford this evening. On the first night of conference play, last Friday night, North Medford defeated Grants Pass 71-56. South Eugene beat South Medford 55-42. And, of course, you had Roseburg winning against Sheldon 56-52. Tough way to start out the season for the Sheldon Irish if they lose tonight against North Medford, who's another quality opponent. Sheldon, who was projected by the coaches' vote in the preseason, Sheldon was picked as the conference favorite to win the title this year. They could quickly go to 0-2 if they lose tonight at home against North Medford. North Medford 1-0 in conference play. The defending conference champions looking to go 3 straight years as the conference champs. They are out to the 1-0 start after beating up on Grants Pass Friday night. Getting ready for tonight's matchup. We mentioned it in the opening segment. We could see history tonight. Colin Warmoth is 11 points away from breaking all-time career scoring records at Roseburg High School. The all-time scorer right now is Joe Newton at 1,282 points. Colin just 10 points behind him right now. Warmoth broke the school record for most made free throws in a game with 18 against Sheldon on Friday. The record was previously held by Matt Brown, who set the record back in the 95-96 season with 17. Matt Brown also in the top 5 in all-time scorers here at Roseburg High School. So is current head coach Mike Pardon, who has seen his record broken a couple of times since setting it back in the 80s. And speaking of Mike Pardon, he currently holds the record for the single season scoring average of 25.1 points per game. Colin Warmoth right now on target to break that number. Colin averaging 26.6 points per game coming into tonight's matchup. So when it's all said and done at the end of his senior season, Colin Warmoth could go out with a number of records in his pocket. For South Eugene, mentioned that they are ranked in the current OSAA coaches poll. They're the only Southwest Conference team receiving any votes in that coaches poll. And they have had a nice start to their season at 12-3. We will get a look at a lot of new faces for this South Eugene team. Some familiar names like Jason Berryman. He was a player on the team last year for South Eugene. Sam Harris and Aiden Clark, both honorable mention all-conference selections from a year ago. Cole McInich, he is another returning player for head coach Dave Hancock and the South Eugene Axe. But there is 9 juniors on this team, many of them not on the roster last year for South Eugene. So a lot of new faces at the varsity level this year. Only 2 seniors coming back this season. So it's going to be a lot of new faces, but there are plenty of returners for South Eugene as they look to try and pull off a big road win at the start of conference play here tonight against the Roseburg boys. We are closing in on tip-off between Roseburg and South Eugene. Band has been entertaining us here tonight as they make their way towards the national anthem. Crowd is starting to fill in tonight here at Stuart W. Robertson. Looking like it's going to be a good Tuesday night crowd for us here as Roseburg, I'm sure, winning over a number of fans after picking up that win against Sheldon to start conference play on Friday night last week. Tonight's game is brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop, and by our friends at Chuck Swarm and Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? We have a score to report from the JV game going on before ours here tonight. The Roseburg JV pulls away for a 62-39 win against South Eugene to improve to 9-4 on the season. And they continue to have a pretty quality year at the JV level for the Roseburg boys. Checking in the NBA, where the Portland Trailblazers are in action at the end of the third quarter. Oklahoma City currently beating the Portland Trailblazers 93-87. Portland is trailed by about that margin throughout much of this game. They were tied at 25 at the end of the first quarter, but down by 7 at halftime. And Portland picking up 1 point on the Thunder, outscoring Oklahoma City, 32-31 in the third period. So it should be an interesting fourth quarter coming up in the Blazers game. We'll keep an eye on that coming up throughout tonight's broadcast of Roseburg basketball. Last night in high school sports here around the Umpqua Basin, Sutherland boys basketball team taking on top-ranked Sandiam Christian in the MLK Showcase at Corbin University up in Salem. The Sutherland boys, though, come up short in that matchup against the top-ranked team in the state at the 3A level. Final score 43-31. Coming up tonight, no 3A basketball in the Umpqua Basin. The Far West League has the night off. Roseburg girls are up at South Eugene tonight. They tip off probably right about now. They are getting things underway there in Eugene. The Roseburg and South Eugene girls both looking for their first win in conference play after starting out the season 0-1. Other matchups going on tonight. The Southern Cascade League. Glide hosts Butte Falls. Canyonville Academy welcomes in Lost River. In the Central Valley Conference tonight, Oakland taking on Central Lynn up at the Nut House this evening. And in the 1A Skyline League, Riddle welcomes in Days Creek. Umpqua Valley Christian heads to Pacific. North Douglas travels to Camas Valley tonight. Yoncalla hosting New Hope Christian. And Glendale welcomes in Elkton tonight. We'll try to get you scores from other games around the Umpqua Basin coming up throughout tonight's broadcast as well. We are almost ready for tip-off here tonight as we count down to the start of tonight's ball game. Before we get things started, I want to say thanks to sponsors Good Vibrations, where you can find solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Also by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages. Start of tonight's game is right around the corner. Teams look like they are pretty much done with their warm-up drills as we get ready to go. Captains meeting in front of the scorer's table here tonight. Roseburg in the home white and South Eugene in their road purple. We've got tonight's matchup coming up for you in just a few moments. We'll take our final break of the pregame show and come back with your Supercuts starting lineups. That's Supercuts in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. We'll take the break and come back with your starting lineups. You are listening to Roseburg Basketball. It's streaming live online at 541radio.com, and you can catch it all season long right here on Douglas County's home for sports, CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on three factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
National anthem from the Roseburg High School Pep Band as we get ready to go for tonight's matchup. Roseburg and South Eugene squaring off tonight here from Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Welcome in, everybody. Joey Kieran here with you. Happy to have you with us on this Tuesday night as Roseburg and South Eugene get ready to square off. It's time now for a look at tonight's starting lineups presented by Supercuts in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. We'll check in with the visiting South Eugene Axe first. Head coach Dave Hancock putting together a starting lineup with senior Jason Berryman, a 6'5" forward. To go along with that, you'll have junior 5'10" guard Sam Harris, an all-conference selection, along with fellow junior, a 6'8" forward, and honorable mention all-conference selection, Aiden Clark. A senior 6'4" guard Cole McIninch will get the start, and rounding out your starting five is Josh Paul, a 6'4" junior guard. We get ready for the Roseburg starting lineups out there tonight. It is a familiar starting five for Roseburg this evening. It'll be Jet Black, averaging 6.2 per game. Senior guard Caden Seeley, coming off of a big game, defending against the Sheldon Biggs, averaging 4.7 points per game. Caden Seeley getting the start. The two-time all-conference first-team selection, Colin Warmoth, the senior guard, averaging 26.6 points per game. For Howie Lake, a senior guard, averaging 3.3 per game, gets the start tonight. And Carson Ellis, rounding out your starting five, the senior forward, averaging just under 5 points per game. That is a look at your Supercuts starting lineups in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. Tip-off is coming up. Roseburg will move left to right on your radio dial. South Eugene will go right to left into center circle. You'll see Aiden Clark at 6'8", matching up against Colin Warmoth at 6'3". The two will tip off in the center circle as we get ready to go. The tip is up, and it's won by South Eugene, and they'll move right to left with the basketball. It was Sam Harris, gets it back out at the top, running the point. Excuse me, that is not Harris, that's Paul driving in, back out. They'll get it to Harris, into Aiden Clark in the middle. He'll turn around, faces the basket, and a touch shot from about 8 feet out. Aiden Clark will put South Eugene in front to start tonight's ball game. Underneath, Colin Warmoth got behind the defense, and they'll call the foul before he got the shot up. Warmoth right underneath the basket, got free on the backside cut. I believe they call the pushing foul against Josh Paul. That'll be the first of the ball game. It is against Paul. Roseburg inbounds it from their own baseline. In the corner, Warmoth going to draw another foul against the Axe. And this time it goes against Sam Harris, who gets the quick whistle. Harris throws up his hands, wondering how he got the quick call against him. Jet Black will inbound from the baseline, hands it off, or gets it and get it to right back from Howie Lake into the corner for Warmoth. Underneath, Ellis, the fadeaway jumper off the back of the glass, no good. Fighting for the loose rebound. Caden Seeley got it, but he couldn't get it to his teammate. He threw it to Colin Warmoth, who I don't think was looking for it right away. And it goes off of Warmoth's hands. Ellis made every attempt he could to try and save it back in bounds, but he can't do it. South Eugene will get it back, leading 2-0, 1 minute away in the first quarter. Driving to the free throw line, pop and stop, and the rebound tipped right back to him. 2 misses from Paul, and a fight for the rebound. Paul got it. It gets stripped out of his hands, goes right to Aiden Clark underneath. Clark loses it out of bounds, and it stays with South Eugene. Josh Paul had a couple of looks at it right in front of the basket, first from the free throw line, then from about 6 feet out. He fought to try and get the rebound. Clark had it in his hands. He couldn't keep a handle on it. Now he'll get it on the inbound pass, and Aiden Clark, a quick 4 points in the ball game, has South Eugene out to the early 2-possession lead. Up the floor for Roseburg. They had 1 possession, almost had a chance at 2 looks at it, but couldn't hold on to the basketball. Jet Black with it left side, kicks it out to Seeley in the corner, back to the top to Ellis, who will give it to Warmoth. Warmoth to Jet on the far side, into the corner to Seeley. He looks for the cutter, unable to get free. Colin down low, fighting for position on the block, can't get the position. Out at the top, Ellis with it straight away, feeds it into Colin in the middle. His turnaround with the left hand is good. Spin move got him free, and he lays it off the glass for 2. Cuts it back to a 2-point game. 6:14 to go first quarter. driving left side, spin move for Makinich, back out to the top. A three looks long. It is. Ellis down with the rebound. The three from Berryman, well off the mark. Didn't even touch iron, all glass for him there. Lake brings it up across the midcourt stripe to Seeley. Between the circles, he'll go to the right side of the floor, back to the left. Looking for that backdoor cutter. Jet almost free, but blocking the lane was Makinich. Holding the basketball, Ellis gets it back to Warmoth. If three is off the mark, Seeley, the weak side rebound, almost had it. Then he steals it away out of the hands of Aiden Clark driving in. A foul called as Warmoth goes up with the right hand. Again, Caden Seeley, you got to give him a ton of credit for the work he's been doing on the glass. Seeley coming off of 7 rebounds against Sheldon on Friday night. He's averaging 4.5 per game, but he has been everywhere trying to get those rebounds here tonight so far, and he has been tough on this South Eugene squad when it comes to cleaning up the glass. Colin Warmoth hits his first of 2 free throws here as the foul win against Josh Paul, his second, and both free throws go for Colin to tie up this one. Paul stays in the game. No substitutions for him early after picking up 2 fouls. 3 against South Eugene early on. Paul has it far side. Makinich at the top. He'll step inside the three-point line. Fires a line drive at the basket, and it rims out. First shot of the night for Makinich, and he misses. 4-4 ball game. Roseburg looking for their first lead on a made basket. Seeley at the top. Spin move. Working against Clark. Back into the corner. Jet's going to try a 3. He buries it from the corner. Jet Black. And he gives Roseburg the lead, their first of the night, 7-4. Roseburg in front. Out at the top, Paul driving in, the step back, his pass kicked by Makinich. It went back to Paul. They'll keep it. Driving in from the baseline, Clark out to the top. Harris, catch and shoot 3. It's off right iron, no good. And Roseburg down with the rebound. Warmoth cleans it up. Roseburg on a 7-0 run here after going down 4-0 to start the game. In the corner, Seeley tries to get it underneath to Warmoth. He goes with a reverse lay-in. He got pushed out of position. And the whistle blows. Timeout down on the floor by South Eugene. The ball's going to be inbound, and I think Roseburg's got it back as I think Warmoth forced the ball out of bounds on the baseline. Timeout down on the floor. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Roseburg leads 7-4 on South Eugene here on 1490 The Score. Back here, first quarter action, 4:38 to go. Roseburg with the basketball after Colin Warmoth knocked it out of the hands of Josh Paul to give Roseburg the basketball back. Inbound goes to Ellis. He was mugged by 2 defenders right away. Seeley with it at the top. Gets it to Lake, driving right side baseline. Head fake, pulls it back out, gets it to Ellis. Double team comes on the zone pressure from South Eugene. Almost stolen away. Seeley will get it out at the top. Roseburg, no need to pressure, and now out at the top, Makinich takes it away from Seeley, and Makinich will go right to the rim, can't finish, almost tipped back in by Bryce Betcher, who's coming off the bench, up the floor, the lob to the rim, Warmoth can't get it, but he comes down with the basketball, he'll put it through, and Roseburg's on top now, 9-4. Colin Warmoth with 6 points so far in this first quarter. Roseburg's in front by 5. South Eugene with it on the other end. A 3 from the left side, no good. Ellis down with the rebound. Berryman misses his second 3 attempt. Roseburg, largest lead for him right now at 5. That's the largest lead of the ball game for either team. Warmoth underneath, got free of the defender. He puts it through. They fed it over the top of him, and Roseburg's on top now, up on top by 7, 11-4. Colin Warmoth now with 8 points in the first quarter. He's 3 away from the career scoring record. A give and go with Jason Berryman. He had the bunny from the right side, can't get the lay-in. Colin Warmoth can set the scoring record with a 3, tie it with a 2. Out at the top, Lake driving left side around a screen. Merhowie Lake just goes right to the rack, and he'll lay it in with the left hand. And Roseburg out to now a 13-4 lead That is their largest of the game at 9. Far side, out to the top. With it is Betcher. Drives to the free throw line, passes back out. Driving baseline, Makinich. He'll go with the reverse. English off the glass, and Coleman Makinich will get his first points of the night, 13-6. Seeley brings it up the floor. That stops a 13-0 run by Roseburg with that lay-in by Makinich. Try to feed it in underneath. Jet Black saves it back in as it got poked away from him. They try to go right back to him. It goes off his hands to Ellis, and Ellis, quick move to put the basketball up, but his shot off the glass too strong. South Eugene down with the rebound, almost thrown out of bounds on the far side. Harris keeps it in to Betcher at the top. He gives it to Clark, cuts to the rim, no pass back to him. Harris pulls up just inside the arc, and Sam Harris gets his first 2 of the night, and South Eugene fighting their way back to within 5. 1:58 to go, first quarter. Back and forth affair, a lot of offense so far. Roseburg in front, 13-8. Ellis with it straight away behind the arc, gets it to Warmoth. Head fake, drives, and he goes right into Ellis, so he'll retreat back out to reset. Hands it off, no, keeps it, goes baseline, passes it across the floor. His pass too strong. Seeley somehow able to stay in bounds on the sideline. Out to Ellis at the top, nobody marking him. He'll pull up for the long 2, no good. Put back attempt by Lake, no good. Fight for the rebound, out of bounds. It goes to Roseburg. Give credit to Merhowie Lake. He's definitely not the tallest guy on the floor, but he snuck his way in for that offensive board and went right back up with it. Almost got the shot to drop, but then he fights for it on the offensive glass again and gets it right back to Roseburg. Xavier Avilés and D'Angelo Adams come in for Roseburg. Taking a seat, Carson Ellis and Merhowie Lake. Seeley will get into the corner, launches a 3. It's good! Caden Seeley reigns in a 3, his first points of the night on his first attempt. 16-8, your lead for Roseburg, an 8-point margin. 1:11 to go. Harris going to go coast to coast, lays it in with the left hand. Sam Harris, nobody marked him in the lane, wide open. He goes right to the basket. 1 minute to play here in the first quarter. Avilés with it at the right elbow, gives it back to Seeley into the corner for Jet. Underneath to Avilés again, working against Clark. Almost has it stolen away, tries to face up the basket, gets it to Warmoth, bobbled around, his shot no good. Avilés with it underneath the basket. He was able to get his hands on it. South Eugene gets hands in there. They call it jump ball, and the possession arrow favors Roseburg. So Roseburg gets it back on the baseline. Inbound into Warmoth in the corner, swiping at it. Makinich can't get the ball away from Collin. Marked by Harris. They go man-to-man defense now. Collin drives baseline, puts it up. It's off the front iron, no good. South Eugene brings it up quickly. Makinich left side, pass in the lane. They make the extra pass right side. Josh Paul gets free. Good transition offense for South Eugene, and they're back within 4. 20 seconds to play first quarter. 16-12. Seeley, left side, picks up the dribble, gets it to Warmoth. He's going to drive, baseline, head fake. Can't get free of the defender. Out to Jet, to the top. And Adams, right side, drives in. And the pass, was it touched by South Eugene? They will confirm it was tipped out of bounds by South Eugene, despite the pass going to no one in particular for Roseburg. Jet Black tried to feed it in the corner. Nobody was there, but Roseburg gets lucky. It's touched by the Axe. Inbound. Jet's got to go somewhere with it. Out to the top. Poked away by South Eugene. Seeley will get back to it. A long 3. It rims out for Adams, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. After 1, it's 16-12. Roseburg in front by 4 after a frantic first quarter. Back after this 60-second break on 1490 The Score.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event, plus you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage. Stay tuned for more Roseburg basketball from 541radio.com.
Second quarter action, 16-12. Roseburg in front. South Eugene starts with it. Driving right to the rim. Josh Paul can't get it to fall. And Roseburg will come down with a defensive rebound. Josh Paul, 2 points tonight. He is 1 for 4 from the floor, though. Roseburg leading by 4, 16-12. Warmouth starts with it out on the floor. Into the corner, Lake underneath. His entry pass stolen away by Bryce Betcher. On the floor for South Eugene, Cole McInich, Sam Harris, Bryce Betcher. In the corner, Josh Paul and also Jason Berryman out on the floor for the Axe. Sam Harris pulls up for a long two. It's off the mark. Roseburg comes down with the defensive board again. Harris, 4 points, tied for the team lead for South Eugene. Roseburg with Caden Seeley, Xavier Aviles, D'Angelo Adams, Merhowie Lake, and Colin Warmouth on the floor to start the second quarter. Bounce it into the corner. Caden Seeley with it. Looking for the entry pass. It's not there. He'll dribble it out. Colin will working against Cole McInich. He had to fight for position out around the perimeter, and they call a blocking foul on McInich as Colin looked like getting a little frustrated with the tight defense from Cole McInich, and he was driving to the free throw line, kind of forced his way into McInich, who takes the hit, but gets called for the foul, and McInich picking up his first. Taking to see Jason Berryman as Aiden Clark comes back into the game. Roseburg has no team fouls, no fouls against them so far in the first half, with 1 minute away so far in the second quarter. Warmouth picks up his dribble in the corner, hands it off to Seeley. Dribbles out to the top, working against Betcher. Drives to the right side, ball poked away. Roseburg able to get it back in the corner. Seeley goes to Aviles on the right side of the lane. Colin trying to get free, goes left side of the lane, loses the basketball. South Eugene comes up with it out in front to McInich, lays it in with the right hand from the left side. McInich gets his 4th point of the night, and Roseburg up by 2 as South Eugene has cut the lead down 16-14, 6:24 to go. Driving left side, palming the basketball, a foul as Lake gets to the rim, but it won't go. He'll head to the charity stripe for 2 shots. Nice move by Lake to get to the rim, and he was basically cradling and palming the basketball as he soared through the air on the left side of the lane, got right to the rim. It just didn't want to fall. The left-handed shooter will put through the first as Lake gets his first free throws of the night. That is the 15th foul against South Eugene. Again, still none for Roseburg so far in the first half. Second free throw off the mark on the right side. 1 out of 2 for Lake. Roseburg's ahead by 3, 17-14. Jet Black and Carson Ellis ready to check in at the next dead ball. Left side around a screen for McInich, back out to the top. They work to Harris on the far side, cutting baseline. Betcher will get it. He drives around Warmouth, gets to the rim, lays it in. Betcher just taking the dribble around Warmouth, able to get a routine lay-in on the right side. Colin with it out at the top. Driving left side, drew some contact, throws it at the rim, high off the glass, and it goes. Doesn't get the whistle, but he gets the bucket, and Colin now 1 point away from setting the school record as he ties Joe Newton at 1,282 points. On the other end, it's Josh Paul that drives baseline and gets the lay-in to get it back to a 1-point game, 19-18. Can Colin break the school scoring record on this possession? We'll see. Roseburg in front by 1. They've obviously been looking to try and get him the ball here early. They go to Aviles. On the other side, he got Clark in the air, and Xavier Aviles will get his first points of the night. Always nice to see him able to contribute off the bench down in the paint. Aviles with the 2, gets it back to a 3-point game. Roseburg's favor, 5 minutes to play, first half. Betcher with it out at the top. Pump fake a couple of times, now uses his dribble. Passes to McInich, spots up for a 3. It misses everything and hits the baseline out of bounds. The air ball gives it back to Roseburg. A 3-point lead. Roseburg looking to stretch it back to a 2-possession game on this one, but not before a timeout. Roseburg will call timeout. We'll take it as well. 60-second timeout. We'll take a 30-second break. Come back after this on 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
21-18 the score. Roseburg in front with 4:57 to go in the second quarter. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg basketball on 1490 the score. Out of the timeout by Roseburg, the Indians will have the basketball. Colin Warmoth will bring it up the floor. 4:52 to go in the first half. Roseburg leads 21-18 against South Eugene. Colin gets it back right side, tries to split the defense into the corner to Jet. Back out to the top. Carson going to spot up for a three. It's short. Rebound comes down, bobbled around, still on the floor. And a whistle stops the action. They'll call, I believe, a push on Merhowie Lake as he was battling to try and get a hand in there on the loose basketball. First team foul against Roseburg comes with 4:40 to go in the second quarter. The miss by Ellis on his first three attempt keeps it a three-point game. Out to the top, Paul with it, trying to work it underneath to Clark. It's not there. They go left side, give and go with Harris, back to Betcher. Into Clark in the middle of the lane, got the defense out of position. Clark got airborne. He drives the defense into the air and takes the contact. Aiden Clark with 4 points in the first quarter on 2 of 2 shooting will head to the free throw line for his first time tonight. Foul goes against Colin Warmoth, his first. Second team foul against Roseburg. Roseburg basketball tonight is brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Contact their travel experts for your travel plans. Now located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue, or give them a call at 672-5701. Clark hits a pair of free throws, gets South Eugene back within one. Roseburg's led by as many as 9. South Eugene led 4-0 early on in the game before Roseburg made a massive run. Around a screen, Colin, spin move in the lane, gets it stripped out of his hands, and he'll head to the free throw line looking to set the school scoring record. Colin Warmoth forcing the third foul against Josh Paul. Warmoth at the line for the record. And he's got it. With his 11th point tonight, his third free throw, Colin Warmoth has now set the school scoring record with 1,283 points, passing Joe Newton, who set the record in his career from 99 to 2002. Second one goes, Colin with 12 in the game. Congratulations, Colin Warmoth, setting a new scoring record, all-time points in a career. Pretty cool to see that for that young man. I know he's worked hard on his game. Driving in on the other side, Cole McInich gets to the rim. His shot didn't go on a scoop shot underneath, but a putback bucket. Falls for Bryce Betcher on the putback. And Roseburg was ahead by 3. It's back to a 1-point game. Out at the top, a shot off the mark for Warmoth, almost stolen away on the outlet, and it goes back to Roseburg as the Indians apply the pressure and force a turnover by South Eugene in the backcourt. 3:44 to go here in the second quarter. Roseburg in front 23-22. Looks like we may have quite the ball game on our hands here tonight, folks. Roseburg trying to go to 2-0. Same can be said against for South Eugene. Caden Seeley drives left side, passes it off to Lake, gets it right back down in the block. Spin moves, goes up with the left hand, off the mark. He fights to try and get the rebound, can't get it back. Up the floor we go. South Eugene almost lost a handle on it. McInich gets it back. Out to the top to Berryman. Into the corner. Betcher with it. Goes around the screen. The pick and roll does not work for Clark. Out to the top. Berryman back to Betcher. Left of the lane. Out beyond the perimeter. Passes it away. Harris will have it. South Eugene, they like to run a quick moving offense as McInich drives to the free throw line, gets it back, left side of the arc to the far side in the corner. Berryman enters it down to Clark. He's got a double team. He tries to spin move his way, and he'll get it to roll right over the front of the rim. He had everybody all over him, and he finds a way to make it work. South Eugene back in front, but on the other side, the outlet to Lake He rolls it over the iron and draws the foul, and he'll go to the line for a three-point play, trying to put Roseburg back in front by 2. South Eugene had gotten the 24-23 lead, but now Roseburg into the bonus and a chance at a three-point play for Merhowy Lake. The left-handed shooter, 1 of 2 from the line so far tonight. And he'll hit. Gets the three-point play, puts Roseburg back in front by 2. 26-24, 2:50 to play, first half. Harris brings it across the timeline, left side. Around a screen, he goes to the top of the arc to Makinich on the left wing. Trying to direct traffic with his offhand, dribbles left side, and he's going to draw a foul off of Seeley, who was pressuring him on the baseline. Seeley getting his hips underneath the ball handler. Makinich drawing the foul, third against Roseburg in the first half. Roseburg is in the bonus, 17 fouls against South Eugene so far. Inbound on the baseline for the Axe. Pass it into Berryman out at the top to Clark. Working against Seeley. He's going to go on the dribble right side. And with that right hand, just his size is a lot for Caden Seeley to handle right now. Clark now with 10 points in the ball game, and he's tied it up at 26 all, 2:23 to play. Lake gets it right side, bounces it to Ellis. The give and go not there. Gives it to Collin out at the top, working against Makinich. Makinich with just 1 foul. He is just doing everything he can to stay with Colin Warmoth. Out at the top, a 3 for Carson Ellis, rims off. Caden Seeley gets the rebound, put back no good. Warmoth with the third attempt for Roseburg, gets it to go. Great job on the offensive glass by the Indians. They take the 2-point lead again, 1:53 to play first half. Makinich left side of the lane, out to the top. Berryman passes left side, Betcher with it. Marked by Warmoth, back to Harris at the top. They go to the right side now. Looking underneath, Berryman can't find an open man. He gets it to Makinich, driving in, throws it at the rim. Back iron, no good. The tip out goes back out to Harris. Now a 3 from Berryman. It's short, tipped on the rebound. Now Clark will get it. A third attempt for South Eugene. And Clark will head to the free throw line as he's hit going up. Can't get the shot to fall, but he'll get a chance to tie it at the free throw line. Berryman had a 3 that didn't go. Makinich had a second look. Excuse me, no, it was Harris that had the second look that didn't go. And then Clark got it in, tipped into his hands, and his shot didn't go, but he drew the foul. He hit 2 on the first trip. He'll get the first one here. 3 points from the line from Aiden Clark, and he'll have a chance to tie it up again on the second free throw. Roseburg basketball tonight brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Fisher's Hearth and Home. Second one doesn't go for Clark. 1 of 2 from the line. 1:22 to play in the first half. Roseburg leads by 1. Jet Black gets in the lane. He gets right to the rim, but his shot doesn't want to fall. It hung on the iron before it just rolls off. South came up with the defensive stop. Clark out at the top. The 6'8 forward didn't want to pull on that wide open look at a 3. They work to the far side. Betcher with it. Driving against Warmoth, passes it away. Makinich on the left side against Seeley, drives in, passes it up. Into the corner, Harris. Gonna drive baseline. Got around Lake, but the ball stripped away. Merhowy comes up with the steal. And Roseburg has it. 43 seconds to play first half. They're gonna push up the floor. Jet with it in the corner. He gives it up out to the top. Lake handling the basketball. Pounces to the free throw line. Ellis will back it back up. They'll reset the offense with 30 seconds to play first half. Warmoth in the corner, driving baseline. Baseball pass out to the top. Jet, a rainbow 3 off the mark. Rebound came down to Warmoth, and he's mugged in the middle. Colin, the offensive board came right down to him. And Colin Warmoth will head back to the free throw line. A chance to stretch it out to as much as a 3-point lead here with the attempts coming up for Warmoth. First one's good. Set a school record with 18 free throws on Friday against Sheldon. Roseburg basketball brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. A pair of free throws for Colin Warmoth makes it a 3-point game. Roseburg on top, 30-27. 2 offenses that can put up some points going at it tonight. And so far, it's been an explosive first half. 8 seconds to go. Harris with the basketball. Driving left side, 5 seconds to go. Berryman out at the top, looks at the clock, gets it to Makinich. 1 second on the clock. His shot off the mark. And Cole Makinich Unable to get the bucket to get Roseburg or get South Eugene back within 2. And as we go to the halftime break, it's Roseburg 30, South Eugene 27. The Indians in front after one half of play. It's been an exciting Southwest Conference affair so far. We'll come back and recap the first half after this on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
We welcome you in to the More Well Drilling Halftime Show. Keeping Douglas County green since 1947, it's More Well Drilling. Give them a call at 541-459-4039. At the halftime break, the Roseburg boys lead at 30-27 on top of the visiting South Eugene Axe. Roseburg trying to go to 2-0. South Eugene trying to go to 2-0. It is a pretty big battle tonight here in the Southwest Conference from Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. South Eugene started out on a 4-0 run to take the early lead, but Roseburg battled back. They went on a 13-0 run to take a 9-point lead in that first quarter. South Eugene, though, ends up finishing on an 8-3 run to finish out the first quarter, and Roseburg was on top 16-12 at the end of one. In the second quarter, it was back and forth between the two teams. South Eugene did take a brief 1-point lead, but the Roseburg Indians quickly responded on the other end on a lay-in by Merhowie Lake, put him back in front. He made the and one, and Roseburg able to hold on to a slim lead as they go to the halftime break. Our score at the break, 30-27. We'll come back after another quick break. When we return, we'll take a look at your individual scoring from the first half of tonight's ball game. And stay tuned after the game when we'll name our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game. This is the More Well Drilling Halftime Show. Back after this 2-minute break, online at 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
This is the Morwell Drilling halftime show. Roseburg leads 30-27 at the break. We'll try to get a look at some other scores around the region and of note here during this segment. Morwell Drilling keeping Douglas County green since 1947. Give them a call at 541-459-4039. It's time now to take a look at some individual scoring from the first half of tonight's ball game. First for the visiting South Eugene Axe, 27 points in the first half. Their season average is 69.2 points per game. Leading the way with 11 is Aiden Clark. He has not missed a shot from the floor. He is 3 of 4 from the free throw line. His only miss coming at the stripe. He's got 11 to lead the way for the Axe. Then they've got a lot of players with 4 points. Josh Paul with 4. Bryce Betcher with 4. Cole McInich with 4. And Sam Harris with 4 for South Eugene. On the other side, for Roseburg, leading the way with 16 points, Colin Warmoth. He sets the new school record for career points with those 16 in the first half. Only needed 11 to make it, but he sets the record, looks to add to it as the second half comes up. Colin, 16 points in the first. 6 points for Merhowie Lake, 2 points for Xavier Avilés, 3 points for Caden Seeley and Jet Black. And that is your scoring from the first half. Some other numbers for you. For Roseburg, leading the way in rebounds, Caden Seeley with 6, Colin Warmoth with 4. On the other side for South Eugene, Aiden Clark with 6 to lead the Axe. South Eugene, 4 turnovers in the first half. Roseburg with 4 as well. Trying to get some other scores from around the region for you here at halftime during the Morwell Drilling halftime show. JV, the Roseburg JV team won 62-39 to improve to 9-4 on the season. And other scores from around the Umpqua Basin, some girls finals from earlier. Yoncalla taking on New Hope Christian. They fall 37-28 in girls basketball. Camas Valley defeats North Douglas in girls basketball 21-18. And in the NBA, it is a final. The Oklahoma City Thunder defeat the Portland Trailblazers 123-114, wrapping up the back end of a back-to-back for both teams in that matchup. From the Southwest Conference in boys basketball tonight, at the halftime break, Sheldon leads North Medford 37-32. So a tight one there, but Sheldon coming off with a loss against Roseburg, looking to try to get to 1-1 in conference play with a win over North Medford. And Oakland is, this should be girls basketball. Oakland is stored out to a 38-31 lead in the fourth quarter of that matchup. Hadley Brooksby is locked in from deep, apparently, according to reports from Josh Nutter with the News Review. So taking a look at things, and it looks like Joy DeRoss with Camas Valley has scored 5 points in that one. She scored all 5 of the final in that matchup for Camas Valley's win over North Douglas. All right, that'll do it for the Morwell Drilling halftime show. Come back after a 60-second break with the second half action for you here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Start of the second half, Roseburg will have the basketball. They lead 30-27. Joey Kieran here with you from Roseburg High School as the Indians look to try to go to 2-0 in conference play, get a big start to their conference season. Carson Ellis gets the defender in the air, but Aiden Clark, despite coming off of his feet, got to the floor and got right back up and swats the ball from Carson Ellis out of bounds. Tough night so far tonight for Carson Ellis. No points, and he is 0 for 6 from the floor. Roseburg will have their original starting 5 out there. Jet Black, Caden Seeley, Merhowie Lake, Carson Ellis, and Colin Warmoth. Seeley gets it in left side of the lane, kicks out to the corner. Jet Black rattles in a 3. Jet's second 3 of the night puts Roseburg back out to a 6-point lead starting the third quarter, 33-27. We'll take a look at your starters for South Eugene as a spin move at the free throw line. Cole McInich kicks out to Sam Harris, who flushes a long-distance shot right through. First 3 of the night for Sam Harris. Gets South Eugene back within 3, 33-30, opening 45 seconds of the third quarter. Out at the top, Carson Ellis. They know he's cold. Nobody on him. He doesn't pull the trigger from straight away. Now he will. Launches the 3, and he buries it in. They were daring him to take the shot, and he puts it through. Ellis with the 3 makes it a 36-30 score. Driving left side, McInich lobs to the rim, and it's a flush by Coleman McInich. It's the McInich with the lob, and it's Aiden Clark with the finish. 2 points there, back to a 4-point game. Ball got away. They stop action for a moment. Roseburg will get it as they bring it up the floor. 4-point game, 36-32, 6:45 to go. For South Eugene, Jason Berryman, Cole McInich, Aiden Clark, Josh Paul, and Sam Harris on the floor to start the original starting 5. A long 2 from Carson Ellis. He's heating up. They've been given a wide berth as a cold start, and he is starting to make them pay. He's got 5 in this third quarter. Lob to the far side, 38-32, your score, 6:24 to go. McInich spin move, and they'll stop it. Foul on the floor. They call it against Caden Seeley. I'll have that down as his second foul, first of the second half for either side. 2 on Seeley now. Roseburg staying out of foul trouble in the first half. Josh Paul, who's out there to start the third quarter, does have 3 fouls. Inbound from the baseline for the Axe. Throw it to nobody in particular, and they turn it over. 6:22 to go, third quarter. Roseburg will get the ball back on the baseline. Inbound to Colin Warmoth. 6:17 to go. Roseburg on top by 6. Ellis with it out at the top. Now Clark marking him a little bit tighter after he's made 2 straight. Colin going to drive baseline. Got to the rim. Double clutch. He hung up as long as he could. Couldn't get the shot to fall. Then almost a fight for it in the backcourt. Colin almost steals it away, but he gets the jump ball called. The arrow is favoring South Eugene, so the Axe will get the ball back, but the possession arrow will move to Roseburg. Colin getting his hands on the ball in the backcourt, tying up the Axe. They'll flip the possession arrow. South Eugene with the basketball. Paul with it out beyond the arc. They work it to the near corner. Harris in the corner, shouting out some instructions. Drives baseline, gets bumped by Lake, who will pick up his second. Harris goes to the floor. 5:51 to play third. Lake picking up his second team foul against Roseburg here in the third. Inbound from the baseline out to the top to Berryman. They work it far side to Paul. He's going to take it on the dribble, pulls up from the free throw line. It rims out, and Seeley down with the rebound. Caden will bring it across the timeline. Picks up the dribble, goes to the free throw line, and it's a foul against Aiden Clark. Got called for reaching. Tried to poke it away from behind of Carson Ellis, and he gets the bump with the body. And that is the third on Aiden Clark. He has been such a big part. 11 points in the first half, now 13 total with 2 here in the third, but he's got to take a seat with the foul trouble. And that'll help even up the height advantage for Roseburg as into the corner. Lake gets it on the inbound pass. Double team on Colin. He whips it into the corner. A three from Black is off the mark, but the rebound able to steal it away, and Colin throws it at the backboard with an aggressive bank shot. He puts it through. Roseburg out to an 8-point lead. It's Harris swatted on the other end by Warmouth. I'm going to keep saying Carson Warmouth instead for some reason. Colin Warmouth swats it out of bounds. On the other end, Harris's shot redirected out of bounds. He'll inbound it from the baseline. Driving in, and a foul on the floor. Bryce Betcher drawing one against Carson Ellis. And Ellis, I don't have him for one yet, but I'm notoriously bad for keeping track of fouls, and it is his second. Inbound again from the baseline. 3 fouls quickly here in this third quarter against Roseburg. Betcher with it, whips it out to the top. Makinich driving in from the free throw line, just a bit short. Seeley down with the rebound. He'll try to work it quickly, almost loses it in the backcourt, gets it to Ellis. He quickly passes it to Warmouth. Into the corner, out to the top. Seeley with it. Oh, tries to feed it to Jet and throws it out of bounds. Roseburg seemed like the offense wanted to move faster than the players were able to keep up with. Roseburg in front by 8. Out at the top, Betcher with it. Through his hands, picks it right back up. Makinich to the far side. Berryman a catch and shoot 3. It's off the corner of the rim, tipped out of bounds. It'll go to Roseburg. Berryman, I've heard a lot of descriptions for that portion of the rim. One I heard recently was the crotch, and I don't know if that's a good description of that part, but that I always called it the armpit of the rim, right there in that crease. That's where that shot hit and then tipped out of bounds by South Eugene. Out at the top, the pass picked off by Betcher up the floor. He lays it in. And a timeout by South Eugene, a 30-second timeout. They're back within 6, 40-34. We'll take the quick 30-second break. Back after this on 1490 The Score. .422 to go in the ball game. Roseburg basketball out of the timeout by South Eugene. Tonight's game brought to you by Bimart. Score big for less at Bimart. Carson Ellis out at the top with the basketball. He had it high above his head, and Bryce Betcher just steals it right away. They go with a lob, and Ellis will slap it away, and Roseburg will come up with the steal. Lake will have it, retreats back to clear things out, and brings it across the timeline. Has it back out at the top between the circles. Gets it to Jet. Jet marked by Paul. Going to drive right side. Ball stripped out of his hands. South Eugene comes up with another steal. Up the floor they'll work. Gets it to Paul. Right to the rim. The finger roll is good. And Josh Paul will get South Eugene back within 4. 40-36. 3:34 to go. Colin handling the basketball. Right side. Double team almost pokes it away. Gets it to Ellis. Drives left side. Things open up for him. The lay-in won't go, but to the line goes Carson Ellis. The foul goes against Bryce Betcher, picking up his first. Aiden Clark with his 3 fouls is going to head to the scorer's table to check back in here. Head coach Dave Hancock does not want his leading scorer on the bench for too long, as the first one goes through for Ellis from the free throw line, his first free throw of the night. Clark comes back in. Tonight's game brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Roseburg trying to keep it at a comfortable margin here. And the second free throw will help. Ellis makes them both back out to a 6-point game. D'Angelo Adams will check in at the next dead ball for Roseburg. Betcher has it in the corner. Pump fake, drives in, lost a handle on it. He slaps it back out to Makinich to keep the possession for the Axe. Into the corner for Harris. They go to Clark. A give and go into the corner. Quick passing around the floor. Paul comes up. His shot won't go, but Warmouth is going to get called for the pushing foul. Colin picking up what I believe is his second. And for Roseburg, it's going to be their 4th team foul here in the third quarter. They are quickly making their way towards the bonus. Josh Powell will head to the not Powell, Josh Paul will head to the free throw line. His first is short. Adams will come into the game. Checks in for Kate. There we go. I thought maybe Ellis was the one checking out, but Ellis is down on the other end of the floor where Howie Lake will sit down. Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages, a proud sponsor of Roseburg basketball here on 1490 The Score. Second free throw goes for Paul. He's got 3 in the quarter. Has it back down to a 5-point game. 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Seeley's going to drive baseline, and he draws contact from Harris. He worked himself too far underneath the basket. His shot hit the underside of the backboard, but he gets a little bit of contact and will head to the free throw line. While we've got a moment, I want to let you know about the big game going on 1490 The Score. Of course, the big game is almost here, and that means the Squares game from 1490 The Score is back. Head to 541radio.com to sign up for your chance to get your name into a square. And we'll tell you more about what that'll win you if you can win on our Squares game. Second free throw didn't go for Seeley, and down on the other end in transition, Sam Harris gets out in front of the Roseburg defense, puts one through for a 43-39 game. And now an offensive foul going to be called against Carson Ellis. He doesn't like the call. It'll be his third, and we're going to go down to the other end of the floor. Ellis, the turnover for Roseburg. 4-point game. South Eugene has a chance to cut into that. And Xavier Avilés will check in at the next dead ball for Roseburg. Spin move in the lane. Aiden Clark can't get the shot to go. The rebound tipped out to the far corner, and it's saved in bounds by South Eugene. Makinich driving in. Offensive foul. Put his shoulder into the chest of Caden Seeley, who was planted, and he takes the foul. Carson Ellis will take a seat as Avilés comes back in. Makinich having a conversation with Coach Hancock on the bench, just wondering, how did I get called for that? But he picks up his second, and Roseburg will get the ball back. By the way, that was the first miss of the night from the floor by Aiden Clark. He is 5 of 6. Baseline, Seeley out to the top to Avilés, dribbles right side, bounces it to Adams, picks up his dribble, gets it to Warmoth at the top. Roseburg leads 43-39, nearing the 2-minute mark of the third quarter. Warmoth just puts his head down, drives to the rim. His shot just rattles off. Collin with just 2 points here in the third quarter. Makinich drives to the free throw line, finds the baseline cutter. Paul, it got stripped out of his hands, but it goes right to Clark, who throws it right to Adams. Up the floor comes Warmoth. He's got numbers. He'll go right to the rim and draws another foul against Makinich, but goes down hard. Collin on the floor will get a hand up. I think he's going to be all right. He'll go to the free throw line as the foul against Makinich should be his third, and the officials are teaming up. Could this be a flagrant? Makinich walks to the bench to talk with Coach Hancock.
South Eugene foul number 13, Coleman.
The officials talking about it here. Collin went down hard, and they are going to call it a flagrant foul on Makinich, who has a little chuckle about it because he doesn't even know how that happened. So the intentional flagrant foul is going to send Collin to the free throw line for an automatic 2, and Roseburg will get the ball back. So back to our square game. This year we've partnered with Waterscape Spas and Pools to give away a Big Green Egg barbecue, a bag of Big Green Egg wood charcoal, and a Big Green Egg bottle opener. It's all valued at more than $1,100. Get signed up today at 541radio.com and visit Waterscape Spas and Pools at their new location at 1800 Mulholland Drive, or check them out online at waterscapespas.com. You got a chance to win a big prize only for just signing up. That's all you got to do. It's really not that hard of a giveaway. Collin makes them both at the free throw line. Roseburg in front by 6, 45-39, a minute 38 to go. They keep the possession. Collin drives baseline and gets the jumper from 10 feet out. And Collin starting to get some points here in the third quarter. Roseburg out to an 8-point lead, almost their largest at 9. Around a screen, Harris well beyond the arc, into the corner to Paul. To Makinich, he's going to pull on a wing 3. It's off the iron, a little flat. Adams down with the rebound. Makinich trying to make up for the intentional foul, and he can't hit. Roseburg with it, 112, a bucket here. Has a chance to put them at their largest lead of the game and really start to put this one in their favor. As a drive in, Jet Black has it redirected out of bounds by Josh Paul, but it stays with Roseburg. Howie Lake will check back in for Jet. 1:05 to go, third quarter. Obviously nothing going to be said and done after 3 quarters of play, but if Roseburg can get a bucket here, they're really starting to feel good about where they're at. Inbound to Warmoth, out at the top. He hits the 3. The basket no good. They want a no basket, a foul on Caden Seeley. The whistle came after Warmoth had launched the 3, it seemed. And that's why Roseburg says they've got to claim at the basket, but it won't count. Offensive foul on Caden Seeley, his 3rd, and Roseburg gives the ball back to South Eugene. Driving in, the shot goes underneath to Aiden Clark, who gets the bucket and the foul. He'll head to the free throw line for a 3-point play, and he's got himself fired up. They call the foul on, they call it on Xavier Avilés, his 1st. 16th foul against Roseburg, though, as we're almost into the bonus here for the Axe. Aiden Clark goes to the free throw stripe. He's 3 of 4 from the line. He'll hit. 3-point play for Clark. 47-42. I think they are correcting that on the scoreboard. Yeah, 5-point game. Warmoth double teamed out at the top. He'll get it to the open man, D'Angelo Adams. He tried to work it in underneath, got the ball knocked away by Paul, and then he commits the foul. Adams going to pick up his 1st, and we're into the bonus now for South Eugene. 17 fouls against Roseburg will walk the other end of the floor. 1-and-1 opportunity for South. 43.6 seconds to play, 3rd quarter. Josh Paul, 3 points in the quarter for 7 total in the game. Tries to cut down this 5-point lead. His first in, the front end of the 1-and-1, no good. Ball got tipped to Collin. Up the floor, they'll lob it. Collin will get it and lays it in. They wanted the dunk. It wasn't quite going to be there. Paul's miss ends up being 2 for Roseburg. They're back out to a 7-point lead. Roseburg turns around things there. 30 seconds to go. Makinich into the lane. The floater, no good. Rebound tip to Warmoth. And he has it picked out from behind. Makinich comes up with it. Collin wanted a foul, doesn't get it. On the other end, Paul will make him pay as he pulls up for the elbow jumper. 49-44, 5-point game, 10 seconds to go. Warmoth will bring it up the floor quickly. They try to trap him out in the half court. He goes around it, double or triple team. He spins, throws it at the rim, no good. 2 seconds to go. And the 3-quarter heave off the backboard, no good. And we will head to the 4th quarter. Roseburg leads 49-44. And the final period going to decide it here between South and Roseburg. Back after this 60-second break on The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Fourth quarter coming up. Roseburg will have the basketball to inbound from the far sideline. They lead 49-44. Tonight's game brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Contact their travel experts for your travel plans. Now located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue, or call them at 672-5701. Merhowie Lake, D'Angelo Adams, Xavier Avilés, Collin Warmoth, and Jet Black out on the floor for Roseburg to start the fourth quarter. As the ball tipped out of bounds, it'll stay with the Roseburg boys. Inbound from their own baseline. Jet Black will handle it. Inbound goes to Avilés. Trapped in the corner, hands it off. It's tipped out of bounds. Roseburg will get it back. Tried to hand it off to Collin Warmoth. And the inbound will come at the end of the Roseburg bench on the near sideline. Inbound goes into Warmoth. He has his pocket picked. It was Paul that came away with it. Tips it to Makinich. And he'll lose it. Almost traveled with it, then Roseburg takes it away, and Warmouth will bring it up the floor. 49-44 your score. Collin driving baseline, double clutch, and his bank shot goes. Collin up to 26 points here tonight. And it's 51-44. Losing it on the baseline. Makinich loses it out of bounds. Roseburg will get it back. He wanted a slap on the hands, but it's Merhowie Lake that steals it and knocks it away as Makinich loses the ball. And he's had a frustrating night. You can tell it on his face. Roseburg leading by 7. 7:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Lake will hand it off to Adams. Pass into the corner. Lake picks up the dribble, gets it to Warmouth on the baseline, working against Makinich. Over his head, gets it down underneath to Aviles. Out to Adams to the top. The pass was tipped, and it's okay in the backcourt. It was tipped into the back. Now the pass up to Lake. Gets it to Warmouth. Going up, he goes for the one-handed jam. He wanted the poster, and he couldn't get it. He got his shot redirected. The ball goes out of bounds, and it goes back to Roseburg. Well, that would have lit this place up if Collin would have hit that one, but he went right to the rim to try and throw that one down. I don't know if it was against Aiden Clark or not, but he had every intention of trying to do something bad at the rim with that one. Inbound coming. Jet has to find somewhere to go with it. Will lob it to the top. Xavier there to get it. Gives it right to Collin. Drives right side. He's got two guys on him almost all night. D'Angelo will have it at the top. Bounce to the free throw line. Xavier, double team. Finds Jet, gets it to him. Into the corner. The give and go. They had the cutter. This time it wasn't actually a give and go. Jet gave it to Merhowie in the corner, and it was Xavier cutting to the rim. He was open for a minute, but the ball tipped out by South Eugene. Roseburg keeps the possession. It's been a long possession for Roseburg. Driving baseline. Collin's going to draw a foul, and is it against Makinich? It is, and he'll pick up his fourth.
South Eugene foul on number 13, Coleman Makinich.
Makinich is going to pick up his fourth. 16 foul against South Eugene. One more, and Roseburg will be in the bonus. South Eugene already there. Collins' first is good. It's out to an 8-point lead again. He can match the largest of the night for Roseburg with the free throw at 9. And he does. Back to a 9-point game, 53-44. Timeout, 30-second breakdown on the floor by Roseburg. We'll take a quick 30 and come back after this here on The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
6:28 to play in tonight's ball game. Roseburg in front by 9, their largest lead of the game. Tonight's contest brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years. South Eugene has it out of the Roseburg timeout. Harris at the elbow, gets it to Clark. He tries a long two. Back iron, no good. Betcher with the putback. If he had gotten a handle on that one, he might have had a huge two-handed dunk. But instead, he just tips it in. And a much-needed bucket for South Eugene. Out at the top, Carson Ellis with it, working against Clark. He drives in, got the man in the air, got pushed, no foul. Rebound tipped out, and it's still on the floor. Warmouth had it tipped out of his hands, and Seeley will come up with it. He'll get it to Jet. That was quite the scramble there, and I don't know how they didn't blow a whistle when Ellis drove to the rim. He hands it off to Warmouth straight away. 53-46, 5:44 to go in the ball game. Roseburg looking to go to 2-0 and beat some of the top two teams in the conference here at home. Jet Black got hit. He is showing some issues, but underneath, Roseburg gets it to Warmouth, who works his way free and has an easy two off the glass. And Jet stays in the game. It looks like he might have got poked in the eye. Driving baseline and losing a handle. Josh Paul turns it back over to the Indians. Timeout on the floor. South Eugene wants to have a moment. Roseburg still in front by 9 with 5:24 to go. It's a full timeout. We'll take 30 seconds and come back after this on 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Here in the fourth quarter, 5:24 to play, 55-46. Joey Kieran here with you from Roseburg High School. Tonight's game brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. Now, Roseburg's matched their largest lead of the game. They had that back in the first quarter after going on a 13-0 run against South. Here in the fourth quarter, they've stretched it to a 9-point game, 55-46. 5:24 to go. Roseburg has the basketball out of the timeout. Full court pressure coming from South Eugene. And Roseburg will get it across midcourt. And now they'll have it in the half court. Ellis had it tipped out of his hands. He keeps it. They get a give and go with Warmouth. 3 players on him, and he finally draws a foul right underneath the basket. Collin will head to the free throw line. The Indians into the bonus. They call that one on Josh Paul, his 4th. You've got Cole McInich and Josh Paul with 4 fouls. Aiden Clark with 3. Those are the guys in foul trouble right now for South Eugene. First one goes for Warmouth to make it a 10-point game. Largest lead of the night for Roseburg. And he hits the second. 57-46. Roseburg in front. 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Out to the top, Paul whips it around to the far side. McInich back to Betcher at the top. They get it to Clark at the long 2. He doesn't take it. Go into the corner. McInich, pump fake on a 3. He'll drive in against Seeley. His step around, lay in, no good with the finger roll. Tipped, it'll stay with South Eugene. McInich lost his defender, but his finger roll was short. On the baseline, Harris slaps the basketball to initiate the inbound pass. They go to Clark. Out to the top, to the near side. Straight away now for Betcher. Back to the far side of the floor. On the left side, at the wing. McInich into the corner, going to drive, turns, hands it back to Clark, who almost traveled, but Roseburg's going to get called for the reach-in. Clark started to go up. He got a little airborne as the hand from Carson Ellis went in, but they actually called the foul on Caden Seeley. And for Seeley, that'll be his 4th. You've got Seeley with 4, Ellis with 3. As the front end of the 1-and-1 doesn't go for Clark. And Roseburg will get it back, still up by 11, their largest lead of the night. Collin drives right side. 3 defenders on him. They find the open man, and back out to the top. Jet, nobody on him. He'll turn, he'll shoot it up. He misses everything, and it goes out of bounds. Jet was surprised with how open he was. The defense is just hounding Collin Warmouth, which I'm not surprised, as a 3 from the left side. Back iron, no good. Clark goes up for the rebound. He gets tipped by Warmouth, and it goes to Lake, and Clark wanted a foul call. Doesn't get it. Roseburg comes up with it right side. Hand off to Jet. He dribbles to the top. Ball stolen by McInich, and Jet gets called for the bump as McInich tried to break away, and McInich will head to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. Almost to the double bonus now for South Eugene. One more foul needed. That foul goes against Caden Seeley. No, excuse me, that was from earlier. It was Jet Black with the foul, and that's his first. And it is actually, excuse me, the scoreboard was a bit delayed there. We are into the double bonus, so it's an automatic 2 now for Cole McInich. McInich's first free throw attempts of the night. Not a lot of free throws tonight for South Eugene. So the first one does roll through. Back to a 10-point game. That was just the 10th free throw attempt of the night for South Eugene. Howie Lake was doing everything he could to keep from falling into the lane on that free throw attempt. And he did keep himself out. The free throw went through. 57-48. Lake on the right side, going to drive baseline, gets a bump from Harris. And Merhowie will go to the free throw line. It's going to come down to the free throw line, it looks like, here in this fourth quarter. 3:43 to go. And Lake, they're going to call it a 1-and-1, I believe. They do not call it a shooting foul. Lake's first. Long, and it rims out. Rebound comes down to Betcher. 2 of 4 from the line from Howie Lake. Into the corner, Jason Berryman, a 3. It was short. Rebound comes down to Lake. He has it stripped out of his hands. Ball on the floor. Jump ball called. Possession arrow to South Eugene. The officials are going to talk about it. Are they calling a foul now, or? Jump ball is going to be the call. So South Eugene will get it. They trail 57-48, 3:41 to play. Inbound from their own baseline. Out to the top to McAninch. Under the midway point of the fourth quarter. Driving in, McAninch bumped. Can't get the shot, but he'll go to the line. Carson Ellis wants to say he was straight up, but he does get the whistle against him. It's his fourth. Carson's got to be careful. Doesn't want to pick up a technical right now, giving up extra moment or opportunities to South. You got to be very careful of that. First one does go through for McAninch. He is 3 of 3 from the line here in the fourth quarter. He is slowly chipping away at Roseburg's double-digit lead. It's down to 8. And he hits the second. 7-point game, 57-50, 3:36 to go. Ball inbound pass stolen away by South Eugene. The Axe with it. Into the corner. Berryman going to try another 3. Off the rim, no good. Lake came down with the rebound. He gets it to Seeley. And up the floor comes Roseburg. Into the corner, Jet. And Roseburg can slow it down. Don't need to press here just because the defensive pressure's there. Warmouth has it out at the top. Bounce into the corner to Lake. He just gets around a defender. Underhand pass to Ellis. In the middle. He makes a step-around move. And a 2-point basket for Carson Ellis. Takes it back to a 9-point game. 3 minutes to play. Paul with it at the right wing. Out to Berryman. He tries another 3. He finally gets one. On his 8th attempt of the night, Berryman gets the 3, and now the ball almost stolen away in the backcourt by South. They did steal it, put up a shot, and it missed. Everything goes out of bounds. That was Paul on the shot after stealing it away. And Roseburg, they got some issues with the full court press. They're going to try to draw it up here. Coach Barden trying to plead a case that there was a foul on that steal by South, but Roseburg will get it back after a quick timeout. We'll take the 30-second break. Back after this here on 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Back here in the fourth quarter, 2:53 to play. Roseburg leading by 6, 59-53. Tonight's game is brought to you by Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Stick around. We've got your Roseburg Disposal postgame show coming up at the conclusion of tonight's game. Roseburg in front by 6. It was back-to-back turnovers in the backcourt for Roseburg. They turned it over. South then gave it right back. Roseburg will have it out of the timeout. They lead by 6. Working against the full court pressure. Roseburg will get it in to Colin Warmouth. Bumped in the backcourt. He'll draw the foul and will walk to the other end for a 1-and-1. And that's going to be it on McAninch. And he looks to the sideline and is just absolutely stunned that he has drawn his 5th foul. Cole McAninch will check out of the game with 8 points. He scores 4 from the free throw line here in the fourth quarter. But he'll take a seat with 8, and it's going to be a 1-and-1 for Colin Warmouth at the other end. Warmouth hits the first. Trying to make it an 8-point game. And he will. 61-59, 53. On the other side, South Eugene got out in front, but unable to hit was Dylan Edwards. The ball lost out of bounds on the rebound attempt, and it'll go to South Eugene. Dylan Edwards has come into the game for the first time, checking in for Cole McInich, who's fouled out. Colin, 10 points here in the fourth quarter, trying to keep Roseburg in front. He's up to 34 on the night. He is 4 points shy of his career high at 38. Inbound goes out to Betcher, who will pull on the three. It's long. Rebound. Ellis tips it to Seeley. And Roseburg will have it. Full court pressure in the backcourt again, and Sam Harris will commit the foul, this time on Merhowie Lake. And Ellis will put it into the double bonus for Roseburg, and it'll be 2 free throws from here on out for both teams. 2:35 to go. Roseburg trying to hold off a comeback by South. Caden Seeley with that rebound. Looks like he's hit double digits. 10 rebounds tonight for Seeley to go along with his 4 points.
Oscar James.
Harris will come out of the game. And I didn't catch that. For Harris, that's his 5th. That's 2 players now that have fouled out for South Eugene here tonight. So Harris comes out of the game, and coming in for him, Oscar James, a freshman 5'11" guard. First one goes through for Merhowie Lake. Lake now with 7 points. That's going to be a season high for him. His career high is 11. He's got 8 now as he makes both of them. 63-53. Roseburg back out to a 10-point lead. Driving right into the middle of the lane. Paul shot no good, but Betcher will get the tip in.
Bryce Betcher on the tip in.
Back to an 8-point game. Warmouth triple team in the backcourt. Gets it to Ellis. He'll bring it up the floor. Roseburg with numbers. Gets it to Warmouth. He goes up for the one-handed jam. Can't get it to go. But the rebound tipped out, and Jet Black will come up with it. And a foul now called by Dylan Edwards. Colin wanted to posterize the freshman, but getting a hand in there, Oscar James just disrupted it enough. And Colin walked by James, and they both kind of shared a smile. I think for the freshman, that had to be quite the moment, seeing Colin flying at him. Caden Seeley hits the first of 2 free throws after the foul, and he hits them both. Seeley up to 6 points in the game, back to a 10-point margin with 2 minutes to play. Josh Paul brings it up into the corner. Head fake by Edwards, drives baseline, cut off, back out to Paul. Out to the top, Berryman going to try another 3. It's off the mark. He's had a cold shooting touch from behind the arc tonight. He is 1 of 8 from behind the arc. Warmouth weaving through traffic, brings it across midcourt. Out to the top. Lake with it. Roseburg just playing keep away now. And a foul going to be called. It's going to be Berryman picking up this one. And that'll be the first, I believe, on Jason Berryman. Merhowie Lake, the left-handed shooter, hits the front end of his 2. As Roseburg's going to make its living here at the free throw line in the fourth quarter. Timeout down on the floor by South Eugene. We'll take a quick one as well. 30-second break. Back with the conclusion of the fourth quarter on 1490 The Score. Fourth quarter action for us here from Roseburg High School. The Indians have matched their largest lead of the night at 11, and they are sensing another big win here at home to start Southwest Conference play. Tonight's game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop, and by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Looking around the Southwest Conference tonight, North Medford takes down Sheldon 63-60. So if Roseburg can get a win here tonight against South Eugene, you'll have North Medford and Roseburg tied atop the Southwest Conference standings, both at 2-0. Roseburg at the line. Merhowie Lake hits another free throw, and Roseburg out to its largest lead at 12. Roseburg is now 12 of 13 from the free throw line here in the fourth quarter. A long three from Josh Paul off the mark. Seeley down with another rebound. He gets it to Lake. Over to Jet in the corner. He'll back it back out. Roseburg to Warmouth. They lead by 12, a minute 15 to play in the fourth quarter. They come out, and it's going to be Edwards committing another foul and sending Colin Warmouth back to the free throw line. What a start to conference play. I'm not going to lie. This has been more than I was expecting from Roseburg to start out conference play. Kudos to these young men battling through some mid-season turmoil, and they are coming out, and they are putting the Southwest Conference on notice. Free throw goes through for Warmouth. Makes it a 13-point game. Trying to get it to 14, and he will. 69-55. Roseburg in front by 14, almost a minute to play. Paul at the free throw line, back out to Clark. Thought about a three, doesn't take it. Berryman passed it off to Paul, right side. He'll take the three, short, and rebound down to Lake. And no more full court pressure, as it looks like South might be pulling the Dogs back. Colin passes it to Lake in the corner. He'll drive in, gets it to Ellis. Got slapped, bucket in the foul. And Roseburg's icing this one here as they get to 71 points against South Eugene. It won't be a season high for an opponent against the Yaks tonight, but it is definitely well above the average. They give up 63 points per game, but Roseburg at 71 and looking to add to it from the free throw line, Carson Ellis. His free throw attempt rattles around and finally drops through. 72-55, 46.6 to go in the ball game. Around a pick. Out to Edwards. His three off the mark. Betcher will get the rebound, and his outlet pass back to the top is swatted out of bounds. Roseburg, it's going to be interesting to put together the free throw numbers tonight. They have shot a ton of free throws. 34 seconds to play. Catch and shoot three on the inbound by Berryman off the mark. Rebound down to Ellis. And Roseburg, we'll see if South puts much pressure on. Carson Ellis threw the ball off of the South Eugene defender, but it goes right to Merhowie Lake. He's able to keep it as it's dribbled off of Aiden Clark's foot. Lake in the corner, driving in, and he'll get caught up. He's going to get a bucket in the foul. Merhowie Lake up to 12 points tonight, and he's got a new career high with 12, and he'll look to add to it. I don't think Roseburg was looking to try and get that bucket, but they do. Lake to the line for the and one to make it a three-point play. His free throw goes. Merhowie Lake with 13, a career high for him, 75-55, a 20-point game all of a sudden for Roseburg. The three from Josh Paul rims out, Warmouth down with the rebound, and that's going to probably do it as South Eugene commits another foul in the backcourt. 2.4 seconds to go, and that's going to be the fifth foul on Aiden Clark. He fouls out of the game. He does not score in the fourth quarter, finishes with 16, and with 2.4 seconds to go in the ballgame, Colin Warmouth will shoot two from the line. And coming into the game, Trey Nelson will check in for South Eugene. Warmouth hits the first. Makes it a 21-point score. Second makes it 22. Colin Warmouth has just tied his own record as the game goes final. 77-55, a 22-point win. You want to say statement? That was a statement. The Roseburg boys get a huge victory against South Eugene tonight. 77-55, a record-setting performance from Colin Warmouth, and the Roseburg boys out to a 2-0 start to the conference season. They'll sit atop the standings with North Medford, and Roseburg will be heading to Medford coming up on Friday night when they take on the South Medford Panthers. 77-55, your final score. We'll come back with the Roseburg Disposal postgame show after this here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Final score tonight as the Roseburg boys improved to 2-0 in conference play. 77-55. Roseburg takes down South Eugene tonight as they stay atop the Southwest Conference standings. A big win as Roseburg defeats number 9 ranked South Eugene. That was the coaches poll ranking, and South Eugene came in at number 7 in the OSAA power rankings. So no matter how you look at it, tonight's win for Roseburg going to be a huge boost. They actually dropped 3 spots in the power rankings after winning against Sheldon on Friday last week. This should help boost them back up into the hopefully top 16, where that would put them in a spot if they can stay in the top 16 to get a home playoff game at the end of the regular season. That's a long ways away from now, but Roseburg out to a great start in conference play, looking to hang on to it as they get ready for South Medford coming up on Friday night down in Medford. Roseburg puts it away with a huge fourth quarter. It was just a 3-point game at halftime, 30-27, and at the end of 3 quarters, it was still pretty tight at 49-44. But Roseburg outscores South Eugene 28-11 in the fourth quarter to pull away for what was a 22-point victory. That might be one of the largest wins of the season for the Roseburg boys, and to come against a team like South Eugene, that's pretty impressive. And tonight it was a record-setting night for Colin Warmoth, who breaks the career scoring record held by Joe Newton, who's in the house and gets his picture taken with Colin Warmoth tonight. Joe Newton down there with Colin. Joe had the record at 1,282 points, and Colin surpasses him tonight, tying a career high with 38 points this evening. Colin just an all-around heck of a game as he gets a chance to talk with the former Roseburg great, Joe Newton. Colin setting the school scoring record. He also ties his own school record, which he actually just set last Friday night. We'll talk more about that as we get ready for your individual scoring coming up here in the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. That's Roseburg Disposal, 673-7122. Roseburg gets the win here tonight, 77-55, and they go to 2-0 in conference play, 12-4 on the season. And we'll talk more about it as we continue the postgame show after this on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
What a way to start out conference play as the Roseburg boys go to 2-0 in conference with a big win over South Eugene. And don't look now, this Roseburg Indians squad has put themselves in a great spot to make a run at a possible conference championship. Long way to go, only 2 games into conference play, but they've pulled off wins against 2 of the teams that were predicted to be the top 2 contenders for the conference crown. So a win here tonight has given Roseburg at least a head-to-head even mark with these 2 teams if they end up tied in the standings. This should be interesting to see how things work out the rest of the conference season. 77-55 your final score. This is the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. That's Roseburg Disposal. I want to look at the individual scoring here tonight and recap a big night for Colin Warmoth and the Roseburg team. First, we'll start out with South Eugene, though, leading the way with 16 points. Aiden Clark, he scores 11 in the first half, but Roseburg holds him to just 5 in the second before he fouls out of the game. Only other player in double digits was Bryce Betcher, who came off the bench and did a nice job just kind of cleaning up the glass and taking advantage of opportunities. Finishes with 10 here tonight. 9 points for Sam Harris, the honorable mention all-conference selection last year. He finishes with 9, 4 of those coming in the first half, 5 in the third quarter, but goes scoreless in the fourth. And Josh Paul finishes with 9 points, scoring 5 times in the third quarter. Let's see here. 8 points for Cole McInich, who fouls out of tonight's game. Sam Harris also did foul out of the game as well. 3 points for Jason Berryman. He goes 1 for 9 from behind the arc. It's just the 1 3-pointer for his point total here tonight. And that is all your scoring on the South Eugene side. For Roseburg, big night, not just for Colin, but for quite a few guys. Colin does match a career high with 38 points tonight, and he gets 18 of 18 from the free throw line. Colin Warmoth tying his school record of 18 made three-pointers in a single game, which he just set last Friday. He broke the record set by Matt Brown, hitting 18 of 21 free throws against Sheldon. Tonight he hits 18 of 18 to tie his own record. He finishes again with a career high 38 points. That's tying his career high. And he also sets the school scoring career record. With 38 tonight, he surpasses Joe Newton, who had 1,282 points in his career here for Roseburg from 1999 to 2002. Colin needed just 10 points to tie, 11 to pass him, and he finishes with the 38. Behind him, 13 points tonight from Merhowie Lake, who gets a career high. Merhowie ends up going 7 of 9 from the free throw line tonight, and that is 7. That helps put him at 13 here tonight. He scores 7 in the fourth quarter alone to help Roseburg stay in front of South Eugene, but a career night for him, surpassing his previous career high of 11. 12 points tonight for Carson Ellis, and that falls just shy of his career high at 14, but a big night for him, scoring all 12 of those in the second half. Three players in double figures for Roseburg. They had 6 for Jet Black, 6 for Caden Seeley, and also 2 for Xavier Avilés. An all-around stellar performance tonight for Roseburg as they pick up the win 77-55. We'll come back with our Abby's Legendary Pizza Player of the Game, try and get you some other scores from around the region, and we'll wrap up tonight's broadcast as Roseburg wins 77-55 against South Eugene to go to 2-0 in conference play. Back after this on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage. Stay tuned for more of the basketball on radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
We'll come back for our final segment of the Roseburg Disposal postgame show here tonight. Is a big win for Roseburg, 77-55. And the Roseburg boys come out on top to improve to 2-0 in conference play, 12-4 overall. So Roseburg now has eclipsed their win total from last year with still 7 games left to go on the schedule. Roseburg has also matched their win total in conference from last year when they went, let's see, I got the mark here, 2-10 last year in conference play. So Roseburg, obviously, a very big improvement season here in 2018-19. Taking a look at some other numbers from tonight's game, Caden Seeley finished with a team-high 12 rebounds for Roseburg, 7 for Colin Warmouth. You had 4 for Merhowie Lake and for Carson Ellis, and 2 for Xavier Avilés, 1 for D'Angelo Adams, and 1 for Jet Black. Roseburg finished with 14 turnovers. That's probably right around where they'd like to be. Always want to keep it lower, but 14 is a number they can handle. On the other side, 8 rebounds for Bryce Betcher. Aiden Clark with 6, 5 for Josh Paul. And let's see here. 1 for Cole McInich, 2 for Jason Berryman. And South Eugene finished with 12 turnovers in tonight's ball game. Time now to name our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game. Yeah, pretty much have to go with Colin Warmouth. 38 points, matching a career high, sets the school scoring record, ties his own record for most made free throws in a game. All around, it was a strong night for Colin Warmouth. Great team win tonight, but we've got to pick one person for the Abby's Legendary Pizza Player of the Game award. Yeah, Colin Warmouth, I think we're going to give it to you, young man. Congratulations on the record. Now hopefully Roseburg can turn that into momentum going into the rest of the Southwest Conference season. Do have some scores from around the Southwest Conference to report to you here tonight. First, of course, Roseburg wins 77-55. North Medford comes back to beat Sheldon 63-60 up in Eugene, so a big win there for the Black Tornado. And Grants Pass takes down South Medford 60-44 tonight. So your Southwest Conference standings have Roseburg and North Medford tied at 2-0. You've got South Eugene and Grants Pass at 1-1, and Sheldon and South Medford at 0-2. Roseburg will face South Medford Friday night down in Medford starting at 6:45. Some other scores from around the region. In some girls basketball, Yoncalla falling to New Hope Christian 37-28. Days Creek defeats Riddle in girls basketball 59-24. Camas Valley pulls off a bit of an upset tonight, 21-18 over North Douglas on the road up in Drain. Oakland defeats Central Lynn 45-41 in girls basketball, and Lost River takes down Canyonville Academy 62-12. In Southwest Conference girls basketball tonight, Sheldon, the crown jewel of the conference, they win 55-18 against North Medford tonight. We've got NBA basketball tonight. The Portland Trailblazers fall against the Oklahoma City Thunder 123-114. That one on the road for the Blazers. Well, that's pretty much going to wrap it up here for us, folks. What a wild night and a fun one here from Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. We hope you had fun with us here as well. Want to say thanks to head coach and athletic director Dave Hancock for the South Eugene Axe for helping us get ready for tonight's broadcast. Thanks to athletic director Russ Bolin, head coach Mike Parton, and the entire Roseburg boys basketball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg basketball here on 1490 The Score. Want to say thanks to Josh Nelson helping with stats and scores here tonight. Thanks to Angela Keyran for help with the video production this evening, and we'll just send out a thanks to Heather Nelson for allowing us to steal away her husband multiple times throughout every week to just come out and watch high school sports. I want to say thanks to Chance Terrell back in the studio for his radio production here tonight, and as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast, because of course without you, I'm just sitting here talking to myself. Maybe that should be the case at this point in time. We'll wrap it up there, folks. We hope you tune in on Friday night when the Roseburg boys head on down to Medford to take on the South Medford Panthers. It'll be a first conference meeting between the two teams. Roseburg has a win against South Medford already in non-conference play earlier on this year. That game tipping off Friday night at 6:45. Our pregame coverage will start at 6:30. You can catch the game streaming live for free online at 541radio.com, or you can tune in for the game right here on Douglas County's home for sports, CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score. All right, thanks, man. We will talk